This video is a call recording of the go-to-market strategy that I recently had with Matthew. Matthew is growing a B2B SaaS startup and he was just not sure what are the best channels to approach, how to exactly execute them, and so on. So that's why I helped him figure out what the go-to-market strategy should look like so that it's scalable and can get him to 1 million ARR, then how to set up cold email and LinkedIn outbound campaigns, plus what the ad setup should look like for him to get a lot more customers shortly. And if you are currently facing some challenges with growing your B2B SaaS startup, simply go to saascamp.com and apply for my coaching so that I can help you out. Enjoy. Cool.
Yeah.
Then basically, yeah, I appreciate you dropping a message and I like the space you're in. So basically today, just keen to learn more about your startup and share some of my ideas how I would be growing it. So some of the starting points I would go through would be the pain you are solving, the audience, then the channels we want to be growing it with, and then the expansion strategy. So can you just briefly walk me through the current situation there?
Yeah, I mean the company's been established for a little while, but to start with, I was kind of doing consultancy work
Mm-hmm.
in a kind of luxury brand service business. Um, so basically, this idea has been 4 years in the making, but it's only really a week old.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've just sort of started this. So yeah, I've been working with this CRM system for about 10 years now, and I've built out and implemented kind of processes and workflows within it
Mm-hmm.
that apply to kind of my target audience.
Yeah.
So I was involved in kind of home cinema and automation and the selling of those systems and the implementation.
Yeah.
So this is why I've kind of looked at the luxury service business. Can you just give me 1 second, Dennis? Sorry, I just need to shut this door.
Yeah.
Um, give me
No
1 second.
worries.
And grab my coffee. Sorry.
All
Um,
good.
so yeah, the idea is really, the CRM is kind of less relevant. It's really the processes that have been built out and tested within the CRM that are of value. So the idea initially was to basically sell the software to industry contacts that I've already got,
Mm-hmm.
um, which we've started doing. We've made a couple of sales, and the problem that I've got in that is. Um, I've got contacts, but a lot of them want done for you stuff. So there's funnel building, there's marketing, there's paid ads, there's all of that stuff, which is quite resource hungry.
Yeah.
And what I was really looking to do was really sell the software on the monthly subscription and then support doing what with the premium package. There's a couple of hours of one-to-one support, but that could be outsourced because all of the automation's already built out to just implement within the software and just really you're just making sure people are doing what you agree to and sort of holding them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was to outsource that element of the work. And then what's happened just recently is AI has become part of this CRM. So basically, we've now got AI voice and stuff like that. So what I was looking at potentially taking to market is I've got another landing page that I'm just working on. That's pretty much finished. Shall I send you the link to it?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, sure.
um, so basically, what I was thinking is to run sort of paid ads. Let me just do. I'll just send it in the chat. Yeah. There you go. So to run paid ads and probably lead with the voice part of it. I've just sent you the link. I mean, it looks very similar to this. It's pretty much copy and
Okay.
paste it.
Mm-hmm. Because I heard about this niche before, is like assuming now basically there are companies or say manufacturers that sell whatever this home cinemas which are super like high end, could be also some kitchens, could be some hi-fi music stuff, and
Yeah.
they don't have 24/7 call center, helping them out, and that's how they miss a lot of calls. And many
Yeah.
high ticket customers don't call the second time, and this is like millions in business lost. And that's how you came up with this idea that in order for them to stop missing this easy sales, they would be picking up the orders through voice AI.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from calling these people that I know a lot of them, and for example, last Friday I made 30 calls,
Mhm.
and out of 30 calls, two people picked up the phone, and the majority of them went to voicemail. But obviously, if this is new business, people are looking on Google, they've got a list of people in front of them,
Yeah.
they're just going to call the next person on the list, right?
Yeah, and you can now contact the remaining 28 and tell them, look, guys, you just
Exactly.
lost a customer here.
Yeah. When I get hold of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, and as I understood, you're gonna be selling at what? Something around 500 pounds monthly, yeah?
Yeah, so what I've done at the minute is 497 plus VAT for the
Mm-hmm.
CRM, which includes 2 hours of support. And then there's a bolt on if you want unlimited voice, which is 147, or you pay for usage if you're only a light user.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then with the two sales that I've made already, what we've ended up doing is going on a retainer for ads and ad spend and running the ads as well, which we've got a £500 a month retainer for the content creation and a £500 a month for running the ads, and then the ad budget on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally, I don't want to do too much of that because it
You
involves
can
too
only
much of
serve
my time.
that many clients,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. So pretty much a $500 a month software ended up for you getting an extra 1K in upsells
Yeah.
from each of those customers.
Yes, and I've also got one other client that's they're a distributor, but they have like 12 installers that they want to do this with. So in effect, that would be 12 customers like this. Um, but it's a bigger company, so there's a little bit more process in signing off the budgets for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and how, well, I bet that these two companies are coming from existing network of yours.
Yeah. So all of this is people that I've known for maybe 25 years in the industry.
Yeah.
And
How active would you say both of them are on LinkedIn?
yeah, quite a few are. Um, a lot of the guys are pretty active on Instagram and Facebook as well, posting about their jobs, looking at work, and
Yeah.
then really LinkedIn's kind of a bit of a bragging right place, I guess, for people to show off to people in the industry that kind of follow them more.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is trying to understand whether like how much LinkedIn outbound would make sense, but basically the best way to learn would be just testing it and comparing with other channels. As
Hmm.
I'm understanding, you're primarily going to be targeting UK, Europe, this luxury manufacturers, right?
Yeah, I mean, the potential to take it global is there, but I think there's enough customers for the
UK,
business
yeah.
where I want to take it in the UK and Europe, really.
And luxury stuff manufacturers, right?
Yeah, so I mean, really, when I say it's luxury services and then distributors and manufacturers, I was really going to target of luxury services. Um,
Okay. The pain you solve for them is, well, they miss sales, you fix that for them.
yeah,
Uh, okay, audience clear. Channels, so basically so far it's been only sales through current network, yeah?
yeah,
And fine, the expansion, as you mentioned, is going to be going towards, I mean, other countries because, yeah, in US will be huge for this because, uh, as far as I know, a lot of manufacturers and people in this space are based out of States.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, cool. Then, do you have any other strategies for now that you have in mind regarding growing it with?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, the statistics sort of show that generally small businesses in any industry are missing 40 to 60% of inbound calls.
Mm-hmm.
and not following up on missed calls or voicemails adequately to sort of capture new leads. So, according to there was a document by BT that basically stated that they estimate it to cost small businesses around 90 billion a year. So, I mean, one of the things I was thinking is, do I just open up the branding a little bit and go to a wider audience and just say small businesses, and then target them like, whether we could use like Facebook and Instagram. Um, because the thing is, on that landing page, I could run an ad straight to call my voice assistant and give it a go. And my voice assistant can send them an email payment link to fill in the subscription to get the 14-day free trial and close them. And
Mm-hmm.
it's that good that it works. So I was just thinking, do I go ahead and run some paid ads, chuck a bit of budget at this and test it, and we
Yeah.
could have one going to the lander here. And if you scroll down a little bit, there's a click to call
Yeah.
button on the lander, which obviously works on mobile just under the image.
Yeah.
Um, and then you can talk to the AI and basically see how good it is with its prompts and what it tells you. And I think that would almost sell it itself. So it's whether add to call or add to lander to call would work. But we've trained our voice AI to basically push for the SMS for the sign up link.
Mm-hmm.
But if the client's not ready for that, they can open my calendar and book an appointment with me to do a demo, or they can lead them to the landing page on the website there by sending them a text and say, "Here's all the information you need."
Yeah. I like this idea that you have that basically let the product sell itself,
Mm.
where the people would be, well, try it out for free,
Yeah.
and they receive a call from your system, and your AI basically sells sells this thing. Of
Yeah.
course, it would be wonderful. So, okay, so you were considering Facebook ads. Any other ideas?
Well, so initially, that's really as far as I mean. As I say, I've only really been working on this for like nine days
Yeah,
now.
nice. Good progress
So,
for 9 days, but I
so
guess
it's
4 years in the making, you said, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, my first initial thought was, do we just put £500 budget towards the ads, and see if anything sticks, and maybe just remove the luxury and just try and target service business owners. So it's construction, plumbers, electricians,
Hmm.
home automation companies, things like that. Um, and we can probably get into that targeting on sort of Facebook and Instagram, and then from there, obviously, hopefully, we'll get some revenue together, which means we've got rolling capital to start sort of looking at things.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I would definitely not do is to go from this wonderful niche of luxury
Yeah,
manufacturers and service providers,
yeah,
because once I went to your page, at least, well, basically, I immediately saw that you call out your audience,
yeah.
and if you try to compete with all SaaS products which service small businesses,
Mm.
you sort of shoot yourself in the foot,
Yeah, yeah.
because you immediately now start competing with maybe a million other products.
Mm.
Good chunk of those are way cheaper than yours. It's
Yeah,
an endless comparison pricing wise
yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah.
And also, yes, I understand that you do have a lot to do with small business. However, you have even more to do with luxury service-based small
Yeah,
business.
yeah,
And for these reasons, I think that, of course, going for this niche that you have a strong knowledge of would be a better move.
yeah.
And
I
that would be
mean,
a better move.
well, even just in my industry, in globally, there's 35,000 CEDIA certified custom install companies.
Yeah.
So that's quite a large pool if we sort of take the global market. There's probably 3 or 4 thousand registered in the UK.
Do you have a list of them?
Well, mostly yes. I mean, they're on the website. You can get the data if you're. See, I could become CEDIA certified as a sort of marketing and CRM outreach. And then this was my sort of longer term plan, is then I can start basically presenting at their industry shows. in the UK, Europe, and America. And that would be a good way to grow the brand because then I'd have support from the industry as well. But it takes a little longer to get a new program kind of certified. Um, but I think that could be a good sort of longer term route to market.
But for example, are you saying that you need a certification in order to reach out to these companies?
No, no, but if you become a member of the
You will be one
organization,
of
you
them,
get
you mean?
access.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get access to their data, the database, and the email lists and stuff like that. But you can go on their website and see who are members, and search for members and stuff like that and scrape that
Okay.
data.
So I'll just save it here for now that yes, I agree that Facebook ads would be one of the things I would test first because you can get it started with it in a week. And
Mm.
just one thing I would emphasize, it's super important to get your pixel tracking set up right, which
Yeah,
I guess you know about, because if you track for the wrong thing, then unfortunately a lot of money gets wasted.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so there, for the initial test, I would do 3 ad sets with 3 ads in each. And for example, I've seen a few very nicely performing ads of products similar to yours. The thing you could do there is um, if you can figure out a way how to film a quick video demonstrating your product in real time, like imagine, for example, one hook could be you try to call someone, you then try to call again, and then like both times someone doesn't pick up, and then you say,
yeah,
look, are you tired of not being able to pick up phone at the right
yeah,
time on your high ticket customers for your luxury service business, calling out the audience? And then I just made the thing which is going to be handling all the
yeah,
calls
yeah,
for you and closing them there. So give it a shot yourself and try it out, see how well it works for
yeah,
free. This would be one of the video ideas I would test. In addition to these 3 creatives, the other 6, I think I would make around images because they're just quick to make and provide nice tasting for the start.
yeah,
Some of the images could be regarding like screenshots of your interface with some headline on top, like luxury service business owner, question
yeah.
mark. This thing is gonna sell your service for you.
Mm.
So I'd mark this images versus show the product creatives. And then the other thing would be, I bet that cold calling would make sense because well, these are these 28 people would make fantastic customers for you.
Yeah. Mm.
The
Yeah, yeah,
ones who never picked up, because now you just follow up on them what 2 or 3 more times so they actually do pick up, and you just
yeah,
say, look, I tried to reach you 3 times, you never talked to me, but look, the good news is I got the software that's gonna solve it for you. You want me to show how it works? They're like, of course, yes.
yeah,
And then you get them on a demo and close, okay?
yeah,
So I would mark cold calling. And then in addition to that, the few ideas would be LinkedIn outbound slash cold email. LinkedIn outbound is quite straightforward to set up, whereas cold email would be a bit more of a headache due to all the updates from Google and Outlook in
yeah,
2024.
yeah, yeah.
They made it a bit trickier. So,
So
uh,
when you say outbound,
yeah.
is that basically just you use Sales Navigator and approach people in your industry via Sales Navigator?
Yes.
Yeah.
However, I think that Sales Navigator in your case might not be the optimal way to actually find those people.
Because I mean,
Because, yeah.
one of the things I was thinking about, I have tried LinkedIn ads previously, but I mean, obviously with LinkedIn, the only problem is that our category isn't there, so a lot of people are down as consumer electronics or other things. But if we targeted those company groups, we could send them to a dedicated LinkedIn lander and then pixel them and probably retarget them on Facebook or Instagram. I don't know whether it would be much cheaper to do it that way than sort of do the outbound route, but
I think that Facebook shall get you cheaper results just because every day I keep seeing how Facebook is just so much smarter than LinkedIn regarding
yeah,
ads algorithm.
yeah,
For example, I imagine I research whatever, how to buy a Halloween costume, and then guess what? Within a few days, I
yeah,
get
you're just seeing it everywhere.
10
Yeah.
offers on Halloween costumes from Instagram.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, it doesn't happen.
No, no, no.
And so there are two comments here. One, you cannot filter your specific audience, as you just mentioned. And also, I think long term, Facebook shall be giving you cheaper results. However, answering your question about different ways how I would try to filter this audience out for with LinkedIn ads, you can one sec, LinkedIn ads, target by groups, because you can look up different LinkedIn groups for luxury distributors, then luxury manufacturers, right? And
Right.
the way you do it there is, well, you find what 10, 20, 30 groups, combine them with each other, and this shall put you in the audience size of 50K to 500K people, which, unlike Facebook, for LinkedIn would be optimal. Uh,
Yeah.
if and What I don't like about using Sales Navigator to try to find your luxury uh, people is that I really doubt that it would produce even 50,000 people
Yeah.
if we search by roles. I think it would be in low thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would make it very unprofitable to run LinkedIn ads
Yeah.
for that thing. So yeah, and then commenting on LinkedIn outbound, yes, it would be getting the list of people and then reaching out to them.
Mm.
And now the interesting part here is when doing that, I would keep the LinkedIn connection request most often blank.
Yeah.
Or in your case, you can go with something casual like hi name, so we're both in luxury distribution. So I thought I'd connect. Something
Hmm.
like this may work.
Mm.
You send 50 one way, 50 another way, you see which one gives you higher acceptance rate.
Yeah.
After you get the invite accepted, then what I would do is you can ask 2 to 3 questions and about to clarify what they're up to. For example, hey, notice that you are currently providing this, I don't know, high-end kitchens.
Yeah.
Are you currently taking all orders through your website or via this other thing too? So
Yeah.
you get the point of the first message is to get a reply.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then message two, you ask a clarifying question. Uh, and then in message three, you use 2 replies that they gave you for you to invite them to a call. So this would look something like this. You know, John, you mentioned that you're currently taking most of your orders from your website, and at the moment you miss nearly half of your calls. I made a software that allows you to get 100% of your calls and
Yeah.
process a bunch of them for you. Would you like me to show you how it works?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Use their replies, and then book them into demo.
Mm.
This in like at one period of time has been getting me between 15 calls, 10 to 15 calls, but that from multiple accounts. So I would say that if you can filter the audience out on LinkedIn, this can get you to like to the initial 3, 5 meetings per week.
Mm.
However, when it comes down to scaling, of course, Facebook ads is going to scale way easier than LinkedIn outbound because with LinkedIn outbound, you're kept at messaging roughly 100 people in a week
Yeah.
just because once you go beyond 35, right, or 30 connections in a day, LinkedIn really doesn't like it.
No.
And the more you try to abuse the limits, the higher your chance of getting your account restricted. So I'm now telling you all that having my account
Yeah, 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 nice.
deleted. That's how I
Yeah,
learned it the powerful, like
yeah.
the painful way. Um, Right. And another trick here is imagine you start jumping on all these demos and you start booking 10 to 15 calls a week. And then you want to get your virtual assistant or say SDR into your account just because it's converting very well. So you want someone to handle all the conversations for you. And that comes the other tricky point because once you get someone into your account with a very decent chance your account can also be restricted if they mess up some proxy settings, like it happened to me a few months ago.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
please be aware of that. And that's why now I would say that for some niches it does make sense, especially to get to the first like 3, 5 consistent calls a week.
Hmm.
But when you want to go from 10 to, well, from 5 to 10 to 15 to 30, uh, it's like it's possible, but it's just such headache that it's hardly worth it.
Hmm. Mm.
Right. Then interesting ways you can get the lists of your potential prospects, which have worked well for my other clients, is you can look up these conferences that you wanted to go to. Can you give me a name for either of them?
Yeah. So CEDIA or well, if you do Integrated Systems Europe,
Okay. But
that's
for
kind of
now,
one.
let's do, okay, Integrated Systems Europe. You
Yeah,
say that a lot of your potential buyers would be there, yeah?
yeah,
That's, by the way, if it has like a few thousand, ideally tens of thousands of followers on LinkedIn, you can target it with LinkedIn ads, okay?
yeah,
Then what you can do is you um, can use a bunch of different providers who I'll just send you after this call, who can help you scrape people from LinkedIn groups and you message them.
yeah,
So for example, you can message them on LinkedIn directly, or a more scalable way to do it could be through cold email. So you would set up the email infrastructure with a bunch of sending domains, and then imagine, say this group has what? Let's guess 20,000 people, because I'm assuming it's one of the largest.
well, I mean, there's about 40,000, I think, attend the show every year. So I
Yeah.
guess there's probably 100,000 maybe on the
That's
list.
perfect because that means if you just scrape for the past few years, that puts you in like over 100,000 people
Mm.
lit list, which is enough for you to do cold email for, I mean, months and months, if
Yeah,
not like basically half a year or more. And that's just one of the events, right?
yeah,
Then what you can do is you scrape event attendees and then you get all their emails and you send out an outbound sequence to them
mm.
saying, well, and basically, yeah, can help you with the script later on, but this would look like this. So how much you know about cold email infrastructure?
Well, a little, but only from studying sort of Dan Kennedy and a few of the other kind of guys online. Not so much
Yeah, I
maybe.
think Dan Kennedy is very old school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I doubt it's even, I think it's not cold email, it's more about this
Well,
drip
I-
sequences.
yeah, 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 drip sequences and probably
Okay.
mailers and stuff. But
Fine. So long story short, you don't want to use your main domain to send out emails to people because if a few people uh, have a bad day and really don't like your email and mark you as spam, then
yeah,
all your other important emails are also going to be going to spam, whether it's
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
investors, other people, and so on. That's why these days you get additional domains that
yeah,
you can be sending emails from. And there are different schools of thought now about the optimal email infrastructure because some people go with fewer domains, for example, more domains, fewer users. Some go the other way around. I'll tell you the classical setup. This would be getting 20 to 40 domains each would have 1 or 2 users, and from each user you send 40 outbound emails a day. This, let's take conservative for just for simplicity, 1 user per domain,
Yeah.
40 domains, that puts you in 40x 40, that's 1600 emails that you can send in a day. Okay.
Yeah.
From 1600 emails, previously you would want your KPI to be getting like couple calls per 1,000 emails. Now, due to all the updates, roughly you would, well, still for say 1,500 sent, you want to end up with 2 to 3 calls. And by sending 1,600 emails every day with a good copy, this puts you in a potential position to be booking a bunch of calls every day, and this already brings you to 10-15 demos a week.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to get you to this capacity with the done for you offer quite quickly. So that's about the scraping through events. The other way how you can get a contact list for you to do cold calling, LinkedIn outbound, and cold email would be by using your competitors. And there are a few ways there. So you could, I saw that you compare your software to a few others on your site here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you just go and look up all the people who are using Zoho, it's going to be millions of companies completely irrelevant for you. However, if you can brainstorm a couple of softwares that are only used by luxury service businesses, can you?
Well, I mean, HubSpot seems to be pretty popular for kind of marketing and stuff like that in our industry.
Yeah, ideally it should be a lot more niche specific. So for example, I'll
Oh,
just
oh
tell
yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a software called D-Tools, which is used by pretty much every integrator for quoting and estimating and basically doing design work.
Right. What do you spell it?
It's D-Tools, Tools. And it's called System Integrator is the product.
Okay, so just one interesting strategy that helped one of my clients add what now over 35K in monthly recurring revenue. What they have done is they have gone to the website called Built With, which allows you to look up companies using certain technology. So they are in real estate niche, and they service they help real estate investors. What they
Yeah,
and they coming from real estate background themselves, they knew that every website in their space, they have one certain extension there so that they can track more deals, basically.
yeah, yeah.
They go to Build With, look up this dTools thing, and I'm not sure it shows up yet, but maybe after a bit of experimentation, or if it's still not going to be here, then you can think about alternatives. But once say you find this one software that is heavily used across your potential customers, you then get uh, access to this Built With for a few $100, and it gets you a list of all companies using this tool. Okay.
Yeah.
For this random one, it's 1,500 websites, whereas for some other tools, you can such way, well, my clients, they've gotten like what, at least of 50,000 companies, and they've been cold calling all of them, and
Yeah.
even being 10% through the list, it's already, well,
Profit.
they're booking couple calendars of.
But do you pay to download the list or how?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this one, to get access to Built With, I think I don't have the subscription active right now, but I think it's a few $100.
Right.
But then the thing is that once you get all these websites, I'm not sure that it will directly be giving you emails.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why what you do next is you enrich them using the thing called Apollo, and you might have heard about it. So you go to Apollo and you upload the lead list of
yeah.
all the websites that you've gotten here
That's great.
uh, to get companies list.
Yeah,
Then you go to Apollo, and here you uh, okay, not sure why this is so weird, but cool. To get all their emails, and I think also phone numbers it should give you.
well,
This is gonna get you initial what few thousand
hmm,
people to get in touch with, and I think uh, by you calling each of them multiple times, because practically the best customers of yours are the ones who don't pick up from the first time.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think this is easily, well, a lot of leads to get started with.
sure, sure.
Yeah, and I think this would be the main places to go with lists, and I think filtering by groups and events. Because the third thing you could do is you look up this event on LinkedIn, Integrated Systems Europe.
Yeah,
And as we just discussed, I'll just share with you a few guys who can scrape LinkedIn groups.
yeah,
Similarly, you can also scrape event attendees.
yeah, yeah,
And this is again a very nice way for you to get a lead list.
yeah. That'd be awesome.
Event attendee list. Okay. And I think, yeah, basically combination of LinkedIn outbound plus cold email, cold calling with Facebook ads going on in parallel
Yeah,
for a few months, that's easily like 10, 30 meetings a week.
yeah, awesome.
Any questions on either of these?
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. We did a little while ago, well, quite a while ago. I used, is it Duck Soup? Is it called Duck Soup on LinkedIn with Sales Navigator to
Mhm.
try and grow a network? But I did end up getting blocks on on LinkedIn myself.
Ah, okay.
But that's
Uh,
because I was sending too many
That's
messages.
why you're also very conservative about this
Yeah,
LinkedIn outbound. Yeah.
yeah,
There are only two tools which I would or which I ever advise people to do. It's either Expendi
yeah,
or Dripify,
right,
because I just know that I've seen many guys in the space try to save $50 on the sending tool and then get their account blocked, which I don't want to happen to you.
no,
So with that, two options. One, you could do manually, or two, you could just do cold email and cold calling instead.
no,
Um, for instance, now I'm working with another startup in UK, and they are in sustainability niche, selling high ticket, roughly around 10K annual subscription. And for
yeah,
them, the target market is, well, what we're doing with them is we're going by events and getting the small lead list of, say, under 100 people and reaching out to all people there. And they're doing it manually for
mm,
this reason. Plus, the thing which has worked very well for them is booking calls through LinkedIn content by us, basically by using our content framework that we created.
yeah.
And yeah, LinkedIn content is now getting them 5 to 10 meetings a week, roughly.
It's
And
amazing.
do you have a lot of your connections inside your LinkedIn account now?
Yeah, yeah. So they're mostly industry people on LinkedIn. But I've just literally last week I changed my banner because
Hmm.
I was running a business,
Yeah.
a competitor business. So I've just changed my banner. I've noticed I've got quite a few people that have shown interest. So I've been targeting those as well because they've been on my page. But it's really just, I mean, for me, I guess in my head, I can package this software like smaller and go with a lower price. But I think for
Don't.
497, for everything that it's doing and the fact that I've got stuff that's built and working for sales, for marketing, for processing the business and the communication side, I think it's pretty powerful at that price point. And, it's going to pay for itself quite quickly the minute they plug it in because they're going to start capturing these missed calls that could be 30 grand home cinemas plus.
Yeah, and in case some people are hesitant on the calls, what you could do is one very funny thing. So imagine you could even quote them whatever 700 a month or 1K a month,
Yeah,
and then you say, look, if our software doesn't pay for itself in the first month, we just refund you.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And then it's a no-brainer offer.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Cool. Then so that's on expanded Dripify and getting in front of these people. Yeah, I would definitely not go lower price, larger market because your market is already enough for you to get to, I mean,
Wait, yeah, yeah,
we know where. And just the broader you go, the harder you make it for yourself to land sales because again if the broader you go the larger comparison game you need to be playing and if right now well have not done any research myself but I'm sure there's not more than what 10 different providers of this uh automated AI assistant
sure.
for luxury uh, service businesses in UK, right?
Yeah,
However, when we look into what CRMs for small medium businesses across globe,
yeah,
immediately it's like 100,000
yeah,
alternatives.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why no, I just I prefer the route of higher price check,
Mm,
fewer customers, because also your your customer support costs are also then going to be minimal because you're going to be just serving people who are making well because by you the only challenging times you can get yourself into is if you sell it to some like new cinema resellers and new guys in the space who barely have any leads calling them, and this is how your software would not pay for itself because um, they are not generating enough business, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, just targeting really the more established companies is going to work.